So state your name for the interview.
Natalie.
My name is Sandra Maroney.
Martin Davis. My name is Magali. I go by Maggie.
My name is Gladys.
And what is your relationship to Sally?
I am Sally's mom.
Sally is my niece.
Oh, Sally's my niece, which I love dearly.
Sally's my niece.
My relationship to Sally, I am her aunt.
Okay. And what are your recollections of that tragic day?
My recollection of that day was, well, at the time me and Sally would live together. And I remember her being sick, just having like a simple cold, you know. The first day she was sick. The second day, and then she didn't look right. She didn't look like she was getting better. On the third day, I said to her, by the time I get out of work, I am going to call the ambulance and they're gonna come and get you because you do not look right. And by the time I get out of work and came home, I heard the news that she was already in the hospital in ICU.
What I remembered when Sally went to the hospital, it was basically she went in just because she didn't feel good. She had a flu. And since it was, flu season in terms of like the time of the year, so we thought that she just went to the hospital just for the flu. Didn't think anything of it at first. Didn't really actually took her to the hospital because we thought that she was just gonna go probably get some antibiotic, come home, and then that was it. And it's when she didn't come back and the doctor, at that time her mom was not around, that the doctor had to call, I think, my sister, which is Sally's aunt, and to tell that Sally's her condition has gotten worse and that she needed to speak to someone.
So in our way, we had a phone call from the doctor stating that he wants to speak to me because Sally is very sick. So I told him that we were on our way to the hospital, and he said, how long is it going to take you to come, because she's extremely sick. She's very, very sick. So he needs me to make a decision. I said, oh, that's very serious. So when we got to the hospital, my sister and I, Sally was already unresponsive. She was an event. So what they were waiting for me because they wanted to transfer her to Mass General Hospital, to MedFlight.
I felt numb. When my sister called me and told me that she was in the hospital in a coma, suffice to say, I was shocked. But also going through my mind, and I remember it was in the evening time when when my sister called me. It was the thing that I thought about. First thing that came to my mind is, another member of our family is gonna be gone. And now, mind you, I hadn't been to the hospital to talk to the doctors or to talk to Gladys about what the prognosis or the outcome was going to be. But right away, I felt a sense of emptiness that one person was no longer going to be in the family.
So the same day, I was in the plane. I came to Boston, and
I don't like to talk about that. And the front desk says, oh yeah, she's in the 8th floor, and then Blake 8. And I know Mass General very well. I know that was the ICU unit. So I went up there, and one of the nurses says, "Are you Sally's mom?" I said, "Yes." So I went there. She says, "Oh yeah, well, okay. You know how a patient is really sick, and then they trying not to tell you things directly. They kind of, turning it around, make it look like everything is gonna be okay. But hey, listen, everything is not okay." So I went up there, and went to the ICU, and that's Sally was hooking up. I thought that I was seeing a movie. Obviously, I don't think it was Sally. So that was really Sally. Sally was on ECMO. They put her on an ECMO machine. So I've spoke with Dr. Garcia, and he says to me, "Well, your daughter is really, really, really sick." Then we don't know. We're gonna do all we can to save her, but we don't have any positive answer as for now. And I'm asking question, mother, curious. And he says to me, "Yeah, but we're running tests, but right now she's on ECMO. She's on life support. The ECMO is her lungs, and then this is what I faced that night." Everybody who know me, they know that Gladys is always fun, laughing. That was no laughing matter that night. So, and then I said, okay. I told the nurse, I spoke with the nurse, and then they give me everything, tell me everything, what they're gonna do, what the treatment is gonna be, all this business. So, okay. I went back home, and I said, "Sean, I have to go back home." And I remember that night, I asked the nurse, I asked one of the doctors that, "Listen, I would love to come back in the middle of the night. I know that the hospital have their policy, after certain hours, there is no visitors." And then he says, "No, that's fine. All they have to do is call the floor, and then you'll be in." So I went home, I packed my bag. My bag. And as I was leaving the house, my sister Magali asked me, why you pack your bag, Gladys? Aren't you gonna come back? I said, "No, I am gonna stay in that hospital, and you will see me when Sally is awake. That's when I'm coming back. We are a family of prayer. We pray a lot." I get my Bible, and then I went to the hospital. What I have experienced in a week, 2 weeks in that hospital, I have faith. Being in the hospital, I've heard a lot of things that she won't be able to make it. And while I'm sitting in the ICU unit, it's the fact that there was one of the nurses says, "Oh well, there is three. I think there is 3 kids who's in ECMO, but Sally is the worst, is the most sicker one." And I said, "Yeah, I know. I understand. Dr. Garcia told me that." But I said, "But I don't care what anybody says, but my daughter will be able to survive this." Everyone knows that Sally was a singer. She's a professional singer. She sings. So I called home and I told Natalie, I called Natalie. I said, Natalie, this is what you're gonna do. Bring Sally's CDs, musics, whatever you have to find in her room, bring all of them in the hospital. So that ICU room, I turn it as a music, how would I say, a music studio. Because I was playing the music that Sally used to sing all the time, the competition that she went, and everyone who comes in the room, they see every single competition that Sally went, and then the songs, all this, everything was there. So I'm praying to God. I said, good Lord, I know that the doctor don't give me any chance for Sally, but I know you have the last words. And I said, I will fast and I will pray, and then I will eat when Sally is awake. So they thought that I was crazy, but I wasn't crazy. Maybe I was crazy for God, because I was waiting for his miracle. One night, I remember Sally was bleeding in every single pore that she has in her body. Blood, oozing blood from her eyes, her ears, her mouth, everywhere. And they were trying to figure out that what can cause that. No answer. I called Magali. I said, Magali, this is what's happening now. Sally is oozing blood everywhere. And I said, you know what? I am positive my God is such a faithful God. He will never leave me. The following morning, they finally figured it out, what was going on, and then the blood stopped. And I said, good Lord, thank you. Because I was not going home, and I could not live in the same room with Sally because it's an ICU room, the hospital gave me, it's like a little room with a chair in it, so I could sleep on the chair. And I went in that home that day because it was a decision that the decision had to go through by tomorrow. If I said that I cried, let's find another words for crying, because I pour my eyes out. And I remember, I look at the time, 4:15, and I said, I spent the whole night crying, good Lord, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I fall asleep, my eyes was closed, and I had that dream. I dreamed that there is this good looking guy. It's like I was sitting in a restaurant with my friend, my best friend who passed, God bless her soul. I was sitting with her eating a sandwich, and this good looking man was coming at me. And then of course, I'm always giving jokes, you know. I said, hey, look at him. Oh my God, he is looking fine in the dream. And the guy come next to me and he says, hey, how you doing? And I said, hi, how are you? And then he said, he laughed and he says, I am here to give Sally a ride. When he said that, I got up from the chair, and then he put his hand on my shoulder and sit me down. And he says, I know where to find her. And that was my dream. And that took 15 minutes of closing my eyes. When I opened up my eyes again, it was 4:35. Guys, I don't remember putting my shoes on. I went to Sally's room. went to Sally's home. And I'm thanking the Lord. I said, Dad, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And I'm singing and I'm calling the family. I'm telling them about my dream. I remember Martin says, don't worry, sister, we got you. We're gonna pray. We're on our knees. I said, thank you. 10 a.m. Dr. Garcia comes in, and Dr. Garcia look at Sally, and then the respiratory therapist says, let's try to see if she can breathe on her own. And they did, and Sally did breathe on her own. Then let me tell you guys, they unplugged her, and Sally was breathing. Man, listen, I felt like I was 10 feet tall. And then when I make a tour of the unit and come back in the room, and then I see Sally, and then Sally, I call Sally, Sally, wake up. And Sally, she couldn't speak, but she kind of, Mommy, you here? It's like she kind of, how would you say that? And I said, yes, I am here, and I am not alone. I am not alone. I feel like that I felt like I have an army behind me. I don't know where I get that energy because I haven't eaten for so long. I remember the staff, the doctors, everyone was in Sally's room. And the following day they asked Sally if she wanted to, not sitting on a chair, but kind of swing her legs by the bed to see if she can sit up. And she did. And she started talking. And her first word was, Mommy, there is a doctor, Mommy, who comes in and wake me up and give me a shiny diamond and put it on my chest. And then I said, oh really? And then I said, can you describe the doctor for me? Because I don't know, Sally. Can you describe the doctors for me? The same guy that I see in my dream, the same guy was in my dream. That's the guy Sally was describing me to the T without me saying nothing. I said an amen for that. Amen.
So, can you say how Sally's journey or her experience with the illness has impacted your life?
One way that it has, in many ways, but one ways that I feel like it's at the top of the list is cherish every day. You never know what's going to happen to you. Live your life the way God wants you to live your life. Cherish every minute you have with your family. Respect and love your family, because you don't know how long they're going to be around.
When you are a Christian, you see things differently. The next second doesn't belong to you. But are you ready to accept it? No. We know it's going to happen. My mother just left us. And there is something very funny that I have to say. She was telling us while she was in a coma, she had a dream. She saw my mother, all the people that she knows that were dead. And then my mother told her, Sally, what are you doing here? Go back to your mother. It's not time for you to stay here. That tells us a lot.
Sally was always been somebody who's very vibrant. And then she has a beautiful voice. She sings and all that. She's very the light of the party. When she comes up, and then she comes across. When she shows out. And with that attitude, it was like, oh my God, regardless you having all this flair of all this beauty and all this accolade and all this gift that you have, tomorrow is not promised to you. So, and then it was like you had to literally look at yourself and to say, okay, do I have to really, reconfigure myself and to say what is important to me? And what's not important to me? Is the things that I think that was very important to me, are they really important? It makes it like the things that we probably used to be never been an issue or probably potential issue. You kind of look at it and you say, as a family, as a unit, this is like, you know what? One of us may not be here tomorrow, and there is nothing that we can do to change that because we do not have control over that.
You should be paying attention to the people that is close to you, because it could change rapidly. So yes, what it taught me is to pay attention to my family, love them before they leave, not after they leave. I've learned to pay attention to the ones around you first, and don't take them for granted, and don't think that they'll always be around, because they won't.
I will never take things for granted. I know people, that's the reason why I'm always laughing. I'm always grateful for the day. People who know me, my sisters will tell you, Gladys is always joking. Because you know what? You don't know what tomorrow will bring. Or maybe let's put it this way, the end of the day. Because when I was going to vacation in Haiti, who drove me to the airport? That was Sally. I give her a big hug and a kiss, says, honey, I'll see you soon. You hear me? So, because of that, I changed so much. And then even my friend, someone else said, you know what? Live life. Do what you like. Go ahead, move on. You don't have time to be upset and mad. For what? You probably go to bed tonight and then not even wake up in the morning. So what made me think that the time that Sally dropped me in front of the airport, that was the last time I was going to give her a hug? Didn't know. I didn't know. I told her that I was going to buy this for her, I'm going to bring this for her, and I even promised her, Sally, when we come back, I have to get myself a new wig. And then what happened? The angel was around her. Then now I can say that I have a daughter.
I have often been told my life is a journey, not just a destination, but a continuous process of growth, discovery, and tribulations. The journey that I've taken thus far, and standing here talking and breathing, is by the grace of God. February 2nd, 2015, I died. March 7th, 2015, I was reborn. That day, I truly understood the meaning behind strength, determination, and perseverance. My journey through life has been marked by challenges that many would find daunting. From the beginning, illness and the struggle to stay alive seemed to intertwine with every step I took, casting shadows that threatened to obscure my path. My mother always said, when you place Sally in a corner, she refuses to buckle. She will fight. Most of my life, I took those words for granted. I now realize how precious and real that statement was. 10 years ago, I was in a medically induced coma, where both my lungs collapsed for the better part of 3.5 weeks, with a 2% survival rate on life support. Seasoned doctors did not expect me to survive, and even if I did, my quality of life would be reduced significantly. They predicted a life where I would not be able to walk or talk, much less sing. Against all expectations, I defied those odds. In 2020, I was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease due to my lifelong struggle with type 1 diabetes. A struggle that ripped a hole through every fiber of my being, every day of my life, for every second I can remember. That, too, I fought and won after graciously receiving a kidney transplant on February 22nd, 2022. My resilience and commitment to recovery gradually restored my mobility, cognitive functions, and overall well-being. With the support of my family, friends, and medical team, I navigated the emotional and physical hurdles, achieving remarkable progress that surpassed even the most optimistic projections. This journey I am on has molded me into the beautiful woman that I am today. After battling all the odds and navigating all the obstacles laid in my path, I survived. I have learned a great deal about myself through my experiences and has grown a lot as a result. It has taken me 10 years to get to where I am today. I have learned to appreciate life, health, peace, and the opportunity to share my story. All that's left to say is I am still on my journey. I have never been more excited to see how my future will unfold, but whatever comes, I will be ready.
she'll be a vegetable. That's what he says to me. But he didn't know what he's talking about. He forgot that I was a child of God and my name was right in God's hands. Put the AC on, lights here until they're ready for you. You got that right. Sis! Oh, Jesus!
It looks awkward when you force people to smile.
Please smile. Yeah, there you go. All right. Rasclot.
Do it again.
Wait, I triple like what? How you triple by your own foot? Not, look there.
Right, put it in your ear.
No, you have
All right, ready now.
What you doing? Oh. Who didn't get your shot yet?
Okay. Go ahead.